All right, today we are going to dive deep into that wild, weird space between a super shocking headline and the actual story. We found a perfect and honestly a kind of hilarious case study that basically teaches a masterclass in how to navigate the internet today. So let's get right into it. So just imagine this. You're scrolling through your feed, and bam, this headline hits you. Your first thought is probably something like, whoa, wait, what? I mean, this is Thor. He's one of the biggest movie stars on the entire planet, and it looks like he's calling out the very system that made him famous. It feels huge, right? Like a real bombshell statement, like he's finally just had enough. You see, a headline like that just gets your mind racing with questions, doesn't it? Like, did he have a terrible time at the Oscars? Is he just completely over the whole fame and glamour thing? This is the kind of explosive confession that could seriously send shockwaves through the whole industry.
But here's the thing, we don't have to guess. The headline points to a specific source, Bang Showbiz. And guess what? We actually have the full, totally unedited transcript of what Chris Hemsworth said. So let's take a look at the exact words that sparked this incredible headline.
Okay, you ready for this? This is it. The big reveal, the moment Chris Hemsworth just lays it all on the line and calls out Hollywood's so-called absurd awards. Here is the complete and total statement.
Hey, yep, that's it. That is the entire unabridged transcript from the source video. It's just 2 words in Thai, pronounced hey, and that is literally everything in the video. There's no interview, no statement, no context whatsoever. Just that.
I know, right? You're probably feeling a little confused, maybe even like you got tricked a little bit. And you know what? That is exactly the point. We were promised this dramatic Hollywood expose, and instead we got a friendly greeting. So how in the world did we get from that headline to this reality? Let's break it all down.
Okay, so let's basically perform an autopsy on this headline. We're going to really dissect this massive gap between what the title promised us and what the content actually delivered.
This really lays out the whole bait and switch, doesn't it? The promise was this deep celebrity insight, a real critique of the industry, but the reality? It was just some ambiguous sound with zero context and absolutely no information at all. This is the disconnect, laid out right in front of us.
So how do they cook this thing up? Well, it's a pretty simple but really powerful formula. You start with a super famous name, you sprinkle in some strong emotional words like absurd, then you tie it to a hot topic like Hollywood awards, and you stamp it with a legit-sounding showbiz source. You put all that together, and you get a headline that is almost impossible not to click.
And this brings us to the biggest question of all. If there's no actual content in there, why even bother making this video in the first place? Well, the answer is pretty simple, and it has everything to do with money.
Welcome to what's called the attention economy. You have to think of it like this. In the massive, endless ocean of the internet, your attention is the most valuable resource there is. And getting you to stop scrolling and just click on something, well, that's a business, and that one single click is worth real money.
The business model behind it is a really simple 3-step cycle. First, you craft that irresistible headline using all the ingredients we just talked about. Second, you attract clicks from people like us who are curious. And third, those clicks generate ad revenue. See what's missing there? The need to actually provide any valuable content. And here's the most crucial point. In this entire model, only one number actually matters. 1. The goal isn't to inform you or entertain you or share Chris Hemsworth's deep thoughts. The goal is singular, to get that one click. The second you've clicked, the content has already done its entire job. So, what can we do with this information? Well, understanding this whole game is like a superpower. It lets us become way smarter consumers of media. This little case study is the perfect lesson in why we all need to learn to read past the title. So what are the big takeaways here? First, start treating headlines like they're ads that are trying to sell you a click, not like they're facts. Second, the source always matters. Third, just take a second to check the actual substance before you react or share something. And finally, get curious about the story that isn't being told. When you get right down to it, this whole thing boils down to one powerful idea. The gap between a flashy headline and the actual truth can be absolutely gigantic. And it's our job as readers and viewers to always be aware that that gap exists. So I'm going to leave you with this thought. The next time you're scrolling and see some shocking headline, you now have the tools to look a little closer.
So, what's the next headline you're not just gonna read, but that you're going to actively question? Thanks for hanging out with me.